All right, C20 overview with Mark. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just being fancy. I'll let you tap the screen up there at the top. It's the little things.
I love it. I've never done that once in my life. I've always
Satisfying, isn't
wanted
it?
to do that. Yeah.
Like I wanted to get a real one and do that
I
thing,
would
but I'm
love
afraid
that.
I'll cut my fingers up. Lock up like last time. No, I'm not going to do that. He's going to chop me before the end of the visit. We're going to do it.
You want it, I'll bring it.
I don't like that. I changed my mind already. Hey everyone, this is Stevie Richards with the CEO of Force USA. Mark, how are you doing?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. First take was so loud, then we're going to lock up.
love it.
Now you're going to chop me, all this different stuff. We got business we need to do before you beat me up.
Fair enough.
We have a brand new product right here. This is the Force USA C20, and if you happen to catch Home Gym Con 2025, this was pretty much the talk of Home Gym Con. I watched a lot of people really get excited over this.
We broke a few windows. Yeah, it's this. There's a lot to be excited about. I can't wait to start talking about it.
Cool. Did you say you broke windows?
Breaking windows,
okay.
making noise.
Listen, I'm going to tell you about it. I'm a very literal person, so I was like, why'd you break in windows? Who made you mad? No. Today we're going to inform people no windows are going to get broken, at least not during the filming of this.
Better not be.
But today we're going to talk about the C20. I actually wrote down some notes because there are a lot of features that I want to cover, a lot of nuance and detail, tiny little upgrades, especially design-wise and usability-wise, that I really want to cover. But I think the first thing would be talking about the thing people have talked about years when it comes to Force USA. When are you going to bring 3x3 uprights to a trainer? And also, I think the width of this also speaks to an improvement in the detail with something like this.
Yeah. The 2x2 ecosystem and the 3x3 ecosystem are the most popular ecosystems when it comes to racks and whatnot. So our 2x2 ecosystem is something we're very proud of. It's over-engineered, it's strong as you're ever going to need it. But there's also this ecosystem that exists in 3x3, and we wanted to be a part of it. So we've done it's the 3x3 pillars all throughout the entire machine, every post. It's 11 gauge steel, and it's got the 1-inch holes. So this is now an ecosystem that you can cross-pollinate with other brands or other accessories that you might like, but we just wanted to have a second ecosystem that people could grow into if they prefer this as well.
So essentially with this, you took out a word that most people want to talk about, technology and fitness. You didn't want this to be a proprietary system either. You want people, hopefully to buy the C20, but also have the freedom if they wanted to add something, the holes, the 3x3s, and all that stuff, make it more uniform type of agnostic type of design.
Well, I mean, we put a lot of thought into our accessories, high quality, but I can't think of every accessory. And so maybe someone else makes an accessory that's better than ours. Please go buy it. It'll work, right? And we'll just try to make better accessories. But when we get to our accessories, we're proud to talk about them. But my goodness, there's so many great ideas out there, and it'll work with this.
Awesome.
So that's the goal.
But people having a choice, and I saw some of the accessories. We're going to get in that, especially the design and the quality of them are really, really kept stepping up. I thought with the G15, I thought with the C10, but now I'm like, oh, I got to get some more better attachments.
Yeah,
they're mine. The one I have are fine. The ones I have are fine, but you get a little bit of attachment envy, if you know what I mean.
Well, and the goal is, like I said, to make them all work. But they keep changing. I mean, now attachments, you see there's still this full steel versus aluminum, and it's always evolving, and so we'll evolve too.
But this right here, you had showed me with these pulleys, they have 2 different adjustment points. And the one thing is for people that might have lower ceilings that will want a C20, but think I can't fit it in my particular apartment, home, whatever it might be.
So much of what our company was built on is appealing to the home gym crowd. Whether you're building in a garage, your home, your office, there's numerous applications, but oftentimes there are height restrictions. So everything, it's the 8-foot ceiling, right? So we don't want to get too aggressive with having something too high, but at my particular height, there's often times where if I'm doing a pull-up or certain exercises where I want to start at a higher position, it's always been a little frustrating to me here. So The idea was to have the ability to raise and lower. There you go.
I want to do it too.
Right, okay. So what I love about it is you're gonna get this to the highest setting, and this was always just a little too low for me. I like to start in a higher position. So if your ceiling will allow that, and most 8-foot ceilings should, you're gonna have full range of motion. You're gonna have the advantages of a bigger machine, but yet we're still kind of honoring who our customer base has been, which is people building out, sometimes in an area restricted by size.
Yeah,
So,
that's one point, which is really, I've never seen that with any kind of product like this. But also, one of the big things about the C10 that I really loved was the fact that it can articulate inside or outside.
Yeah.
And this has that as well.
well,
which is
and not
really
only
cool.
can it, this is obviously very sturdy, but we have these special pins designed where you can leave it locked out and you get the kind of the full range of motion. And there's a whole lot that you can do with that. We hope to put some of those exercises on our social media channel.
It's it's an intentional instability for, say, golfers and other people that need to engage and resist and have that. You know, a golf club's not going to have a static thing right here.
It's funny you said that. Like our engineers, we purpose build this, and there's been times where I've seen golf exercises done on an apparatus or machine that you have to pay for, and I just thought, well, if we could just mimic something like that here.
You're going heavier. You're 50 pounds. You're going heavier than I would.
Right. But this is an idea of where we had a few pet exercises that we liked, and we thought, well, why not take advantage of something like that where we can build it in? And so you're going to see our engineers. We've got moms, old people, young people, Olympic athletes, outdoor enthusiasts. Like we're just regular Joes that come together with really fun ideas, and we purpose build these things, and we use all this equipment, we work out on this, and we find mistakes, we find errors, we find things we want to make better. And so every evolution we do, you're going to kind of get that hand touched, kind of that some nuanced ideas that come out based because we're using it all the time. And so that's why it's fun to have an engineering team here. Yeah. We come up with an idea, we test it, and sometimes they're absolute garbage, and then and sometimes they're amazing. So, we'll see where this goes.
I was going to say you're not just sitting in the office, you're not sitting in the lab, you're not just writing it on there in the schematics. You guys actually, I've been a part basically of working with you guys for many years, and everybody here a few years ago, you literally had a trainer come in and you started working out on all the equipment full time. You set aside time for the people that work here to actually use the equipment, work out, and actually share a fitness journey all together as a company.
All our employees, we've got agencies and other outside consultants and groups. They all come here to work out. We encourage everyone involved with Force USA to come use the equipment. We kind of crowdsource our ideas together. There's the silliest little thing where we think it's perfect, and then someone tries to use it, and we don't tell them, and that we watch how cumbersome it could be to set up. It's an area for improvement. So yeah, it's definitely, you're referring to DeMarco Blewett. We actually had DeMarco Blewett, two-time Mr. LA, Mr. Utah, come and really kind of teach us from how a true bodybuilder would approach this stuff, and we implemented some of those changes as well. So to your point, we've got a lot of athletes, all in different parts of their fitness journey, all using these machines in different locations, whether it's at home, in their office, at a physical therapist's office, or in a gym setting.
Nice. One thing about this, and I just want to point out, I took some B-roll of it. You have two things to seat this. So with the static part here, it's obviously locked in. But even the little detail of having a little place for the pin so it's not moving around is a nice touch. So you have a two-stage there. So even if it's moving freely, you have that locked in to where there's not going to be any movement on the actual pin there, even in the unlocked position, if that makes sense.
Correct. The C20, it's all about the details. We are so proud of little touches like the knurling. Metal is everywhere on this unit. The quality of the accessories and how heavy duty they are. It's just about quality, quality, quality. No corners were cut in details here. When we show you little nuanced things about our J-hooks and how they fit in the holes and they don't necessarily wobble, I mean, these are all intentionally done. And you don't see that with other gyms. And I feel like Force USA is the most copycatted all-in-one company in the planet, and for good reason. We've been doing this for over 2 decades. We're in 30 countries, but when you try to copy someone without understanding why it was built a certain way, you're going to miss things. And we see other people missing things that were intentionally built into a platform for a reason. So we're proud of the details. I hope it shows up as we tell our future customers about them, because I think that the details are what really send this over the top.
Yeah, when I was looking at this thing on my own and just kind of playing around with it and noticed little things, which the little things are big, the pin, the design, the instability on this if you choose to have it.
Yeah.
So the next thing that I noticed was one of the things personally for me, since a lot of my stuff is joint impact, inflammation, injuries. I know wrestling is supposed to be fake, but you're going to chop me later in the show, and when you chop me, it's not. But one of the things with the pull-up bars, and that's the next thing I'm going to talk about, I really like the pull-up bars. I like the multi-grip one, but sometimes I wanted to have a choice with that. You guys redesigned it to have these two straight bars where you can go like this, go neutral, obviously reverse, but these can be removed, taken apart. Thank you very much. I was hoping you would do that.
So these can be
and this is going to be the same thing when we get to the dip handles as well.
We can make them narrower, wider.
Yeah.
You can take them completely.
Did you tighten these? Good Lord. Oh, he makes it look easy.
You're like my wife asking me to
Can you open up the pasta sauce for me next?
The lid on the jam won't come up. So these can obviously be positioned in different locations.
Yeah.
They can be removed completely. Future accessories to come. There's a lot we can do with what's going on here. But I mean, feel how heavy duty these are.
Definitely. Just to show people, we have some B-roll, but really, it is definitely no joke.
And you look at the knurling, like knurling's a big tell when you look at fitness equipment, when people cut corners. Sometimes you'll see they don't even have knurling on them. So it's the little things like this that just you might not see when you're shopping for, which is why we encourage you. We've got, well over 100 stores here just in the US alone, where you can go look at these things, touch them, feel them, do some of your favorite exercises, or come visit us at our showroom here in the Wasatch Mountains. All the time. We have customers come see us here all the time, and they'll bring family and their wives and make sure everyone can use everything. Or it's fun.
It's not the worst place in the world to have a showroom. It's very nice. We're surrounded by mountains and everything.
Yeah.
So
I'll set this down.
Please don't tighten it that tight again.
You got it.
So the next thing we're going to talk about are the attachments. Yeah. So there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of nuance and detail, attention to detail that we're going to talk about. And I may even walk through this on my own again, now that I'm more familiar with it. But you talked about the attachments, you talked about the aluminum now, as opposed to the previous material. The knurling is matching from this to this. And it just looks like, by the way, I got to point out, the fact you were able to redesign the storage and make a mini storage rack pro in the back of this is really, really cool.
Well, it should be noted, all the accessories that we're famous for, right now they are all literally hanging on this unit. There's nothing on the floor, well, except that. Nothing's on the floor. There are hooks designed front and back all the way around this unit. That's one of those issues where we'd bring people to our gym here and there's accessories all over the floor. And so we have storage racks that you can buy, but we thought, we need to get smarter with how we build these units. So your home gym is a beautiful piece of art. I mean, people put the pictures on our Instagram account that people send of their home gyms. It's mind-blowing, the attention to detail that people put in a gym. So we wanted to do the same here. This is supposed to look amazing and have a place for everything where to go. And so thanks for noticing. Storage is a big deal. Most people overlook that. Having accessories all over the floor or in a Tupperware bin isn't usually the best look. So we still have the exact same amount of our famous accessories that allow you to do all the exercises. We just did it smarter.
Yeah, and even the hooks. I have the Storage Rack Pro in my garage gym. The hooks are custom made for this because the other ones would stick out so far.
Right.
You wouldn't have the interior working space. So even these little ones right here are custom made for this type of storage rack in the back, which is awesome. Yeah. Really like that. There you go. I can't ignore this. This here, magnets.
Magnets. We got them. Magnets all over for the hooks. Keep everything organized out of the way.
So these right here, I have the hex collars without the magnets, but you added magnets to the hex collars.
Yeah.
But these right here, these custom, what are they, pull collars in a way, magnetic
Exactly.
pull collars?
Yeah. This is
pretty
patented
awesome.
technology, and it goes to show, I mean, did the world really need another collar? Probably not.
I didn't know until these were
Probably
like,
not,
yeah,
but when you
exactly.
see what we did with these, you're gonna say, yeah, where have these been my whole life? So slide it on, it won't move. You just, by the tension of pulling it off, you're pulling off the back, it slides right off. And we can do a video on that later and show you, but that's what these are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Again, attention to detail on everything.
Well, and also you're talking about, what if these are on the floor? I've had hex collars, they either got to live on the bar or they're on the floor. I just like that sound, by the way.
Exactly.
So also a storage shelf. So you have the mini storage rack here. You have a storage shelf here that was like on the G15 Pro. And then you have a place to put it right there on the 3x3 with the 1-inch holes for the next attachment, which I think Home Gym Con, that's the one they were talking about. With the safety spotter arms that double as dip handle. All right, everybody knows how heavy they are now. You just leave me out here to just follow my. Now I want to point this out too. We're gonna get some B-roll of it, but what you had talked about before with J hooks, it's kind of the same thing with this.
Yeah.
There's a little lip right here, if you can see it. I'm gonna B-roll it anyway to show you that basically keeps it in place so there's no wobbling or anything, especially for something like a dip.
So I remember doing a video with someone. I remember doing a video with someone, and I kind of put my hand on the J hook, and you know how they swing out, and I actually fell, and
kind of what I'm doing here.
right. But what's neat about, again, just a detail like that, it now sits in the groove of the holes here, and so these won't swing. They won't open, they won't pivot in any way. And the same with our J hooks. So once they're in, they're locked. They won't sway to either side. And you know, that's the kind of details like that you're seeing all throughout the machine that just make enormous differences when the sum of all the parts are put together. That's why you're gonna love this C20.
All right, so we have the dip handle, actually safety spotter arms. These are the dip handles, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different widths, whether you want to go narrow on dips or go wider on dips. And it's really awesome to be able to just put this in here. This was the first thing everybody at Home Gym Con was like, wow.
Yeah.
Even when I saw it, I was like, that's pretty incredible. By the way, what led you guys to do this new kind of screw attachment system for some of this stuff?
Well, with a lot of previous dip stations, it was kind of a one-size-fits-all width. And it didn't work for everyone. So this obviously gives you a lot of versatility, but these could also be screwed in up here. They can be extra adjustments.
Oh, wow. So these could be pull-up bars if you wanted to.
Correct. But it's gonna give you extra width and variability here because everyone's a little different. And these things are just, I mean, they're just tanks, right? So this was a fun innovation, but keep in mind now, like, where did you store a big dip, all the dip handles?
Well,
where
the
would you
original
store
one with
those,
the buy
right?
rack was over in that corner right there.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the most awkward thing to store ever. So now this, like again, these are box tube safeties. Keep that in mind. You're typically going to have them installed here if you're squatting or deadlifting or whatever you want. So these things are way overbuilt, but quick dual use function here to cut down on the clutter of accessories. Super proud of how this turned out.
Yeah, and you guys, these aren't short handles, by the way. These are a good like foot, 18 inches long like that. And to be able to have distance from there if you choose to do that, every size right here. But I just really feel like this screw system is another bit of safety and reliability with this to be able to do it. Rather than just having it, like you said, there's no chance of this swinging out or getting disconnected.
It's rock solid. It's rock solid.
Yeah.
And check out the knurling on these.
Yeah, I like this. Really good. You even have two, just like a regular barbell, you have markers to mark your grip. If you want to make sure that one hand isn't further in than the other, that's really important for, you know, your shoulder or your elbow or whatever. But I can see people doing L-sits with this too.
Yeah.
Just static L-sits for your abs and stuff like that. But just the fact that you can put them here,
you can
store
put
them on the side like we had, it's really cool.
Yeah, I've seen separate exercises where people had them in here. I mean, especially when you set these up in kind of a station, A lot of times you'll have kind of an arm workout here, you could have curls set up over there, you can have an FID bench in here, you could have a sliding bench hooked up, and so all of these things can attach in other locations of the unit, so you can work your way around this unit.
Oh, so if you wanted the dip handles like I had on the MyRack a long time ago,
Yeah.
it can be on the outside of it.
I could screw the dip handles in right here, right? Because everything has the 1-inch holes. So this could easily be right here, or up here, or down here, wherever you wanted it. So the idea was, you know, we probably haven't even thought of half the ways we can set this up.
Yeah.
And customers on Instagram send us all the time exercises we haven't even thought about. And so the more we can make something dual purpose, triple purpose, cut down on accessories, build it right, build it strong, in an open source platform like this, what can't you do?
There's one exercise I always wanted to do with a neutral grip and could never find a way to do it. And this is the answer: inverted rows.
Oh, right.
Inverted rows with a neutral grip. Nobody ever, it's always on the barbell or
Right.
something like that. That's another exercise that unlocks a whole different angle to do those inverted rows. So this is awesome. This is probably, I'm sure at Home Gym Con, people were saying this is like the favorite kind of like unique kind of
Yeah.
thing attached to this thing. No pun intended.
Something else we're proud of is safety. Everything we do, you're gonna, when we get to the newly designed Smith machine here, safety, bigger parts, how the safety mechanisms are organized. These box tube safeties, their main purpose is to keep you safe. Let's not forget that. And when you get a hold of one of these and you see it in the correct positioning here, this is what a box tube safety was meant to be. I see so many people cutting corners in this area and it's just not safe. So building safe gym equipment is at the cornerstone of how we operate here. So I just wanted to stop you and point out how there's just certain things you can never cut corners on, and this is one of the most important ones.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also just another point about the size of the safeties. Most of the safeties are maybe about half the size or depth
Correct.
of this. So there's no chance that you're gonna
Right.
not, you could be inside the tube safeties and outside of the trainer
Right.
and still be safe like that. You know, sometimes you gotta take those steps in. So you could be like right on top of them and then just
Yeah.
put it right back down.
Please never, I just cringe when people want to save $100 and the machine just isn't safe. We all want to work out, we all want to be healthy, but let's not get injured while we work out. Let's not get injured while our spouses are using these, or while our kids are using these, or our neighbors come over. Like, safety has to be built in first and foremost to everything we do. And that's another angle that we just are really proud of. We just don't cut corners when safety comes to mind.
He's looking right at me when he's saying, work out safely, work out safely, work out safely. You've watched my full workout videos.
I've seen a
I
few,
get a
yeah.
little caught up with
I've
it.
watched the outtakes.
I gotta stop watching the Rocky training montages. That's the problem.
The outtakes are the best part.
Oh no, there's outtakes, even worse
Worse than
outtakes.
that?
Yeah,
I like
where I'm
it.
on the floor and paramedics are there.
Really?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, if I didn't have my wife, yeah, probably.
All right, I'll make you sign a waiver.
She's
next
my
time you come
lifetime
here.
paramedic.
Is she?
EMT. All right, so let's talk about the safety of the Smith machine. I saw a really nice, nuanced, and detailed upgrade for taller guys like you especially, and taller guys like me. Not so tall, a little shorter than you, but still tall enough to where sometimes when you're working on the Smith machine, on the interior of these trainers, that with your elbows, your arm length, the safeties can sometimes be an issue.
Yeah, so the camera can show that the traditional way of doing a Smith machine, and it's not wrong. I mean, there's usually a separate column for the mechanism to slide up and down, and then there's an extra rung for the hooks. We incorporated that into one box. And so the aesthetics are cool. When you look from the side of the unit, it just camouflages right in. You can't even see that there. It just looks like a 3x3 upright.
It looks like a shroud, like the cable stack shroud.
But when you get in it, you can see the safety also exists on this exact same. And so the integrity of a safety working where it actually has support around it, heaven forbid the worst case happened. If you were doing some sort of exercise, you lose consciousness, and you actually had to rely on the safeties here, these will actually test stronger. Again, safety. We just think it's a superior way to do it. Having the guide rod separated out, it always meant your safety had to latch forward or back. And right or wrong, I like a wide grip, and I'd always bang my elbows. Drove me nuts. So Now we get rid of that. There's tons of room out here. You don't have to worry about getting hit or banging your elbows. It just makes a ton of sense. So
Very cool. And safeties in general, whether you're worried about, like, God forbid, if you lose consciousness, you pass out,
Right.
really bad injury, always use the safeties just as a backup. They're there to be used.
Yes.
It's nothing to lift with your ego. It's not going to get in the way of the form of the exercise, but God forbid you get stuck even, and you're like, how can I get out of this? The safeties will, yes.
Always use the safeties. Always.
They're in there. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah. The world's strongest men eventually hit fatigue at some point in time. And who do we think we are? I'm not any better than they are. So use the safeties, please.
I really like what you did with those. That is really good. As you showed, it's really kind of easy to move around. Once it's locked in, it's got everything right there inside. But like you said, there's nothing really getting in the way of the motion of a wide grip bench press, shoulder press, or anything like that.
And this is an example of not cutting corners. I mean, the thickness and the heft of this pole that for our Smith machine, it's unlike anything else there on the market. But when you look at, you know, a competing product online and the picture, that you don't see that ours has a better build quality. And that one day down the road will matter. It will. And so we don't cut corners when it comes to durability and safety.
And you still have the structural warranty. Even with all these upgrades and everything
100%.
like that, there's still a lifetime structural warranty. As long as you don't put it on the beach and work out 24 hours a day in the salt air. That would be the one thing.
Salt air is tough, man.
It is tough.
That is really hard.
You try filming on the beach.
Yeah, I was at Muscle Beach in is it Newport or in LA? All the equipment's rusty there and this, and I was talking to some of the guys how often they have to swap it out because it's just, I mean, the rust there is incredible.
They probably said never.
Well, it's part of the aesthetic, right?
Yeah,
All right,
I've worked out on
digress.
Muscle Beach. It's pretty cool. Now, before we move on from the Smith machine to safeties and everything, you wanted to point something out, especially for taller owners of this product, that this thing literally goes all the way to the top of the trainer.
Maxed out the height. I mean, I'm a pretty big guy and I can just walk right underneath it. And that's, I love Smith machines. I really do. If it's something that's not a major part of your workout, just sometimes, this goes up out of the way. It's really not an issue.
So you have all the interiors. You can say,
I've
what's
got-
your height again, Mark?
I'm 6'5". Yeah.
6'5". Well, I'm just checking, because at 6'5", you have full interior working space in there if you want to do anything without the barbell. You can do stuff, you know, obviously seated rows, all that stuff and everything you can do.
Yeah.
But you can stand up if you decide that you need to get inside of it without hitting your head.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for watching this overview on the Force USA C20. Thank you so much, Mark.
Always a
CEO.
pleasure. Yeah.
I'm forcing him to sit down and actually have a conversation with me soon. We're going to talk about the history of Force USA, how you guys started, the roadmap, where you're at today in 2025. We actually talked a little bit off camera. You're like, wow, I can't believe you look at everything and it's kind of gone by so quick. And like all the things we're looking at with the C20 is just the progress over the past 20 years or more that you guys have worked towards something like this, and you're not done. It's pretty cool.
When we kind of launched this category over 2 decades ago, we were innovative, people were talking, and it's just fun to think here we are all this time later and we're still improving, still creating new aspects to it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Very cool. Well, thank you for having me come here and break all your stuff.
My pleasure. Thanks, buddy.
We're gonna have more C20 footage, more C20 videos, also a workout video. I'm gonna go through all the different features as well. Everything here, we pretty much tried to go through, but there's even more that I might have missed, so sorry about that. Cool.
All right, next time.
You wanna take us out?
We're out. We're out.
That's it. Thank you guys so much. God bless each and every one of you. I can't even say it. See, that's why I needed you to do it. Thank you. And have a great day.